Hello guys, welcome to our session 26. For this session we're going to need our English notebook. And that's it, go and fetch it. Today we're going to make yet another revision of present perfect. Do you remember present perfect? I told you that present perfect had a formula which was not that difficult, but it has a lot of usages. The first one was for very recent things, and that one was with already, yet, and just. The second usage was for periods, in which we used the question how long, and we used the time markers for and since. Today we're going to check the third usage of present perfect. For that, we're going to start with a revision of the formula. In affirmative, we need a subject, and after the subject, we need the auxiliary have and has. Remember that has an S with he, she, and it. Has. And we need the verb in past participle and our complement. The verb in past participle, would be something like break, broke, broken. Broken is a past participle. In negative, we will need our subject, haven't or hasn't. Again, remember, hasn't is only for he, she, it, and our verb in past participle, the complement. In interrogative form, we invert the other, and now we start with the auxiliaries have or has, our subject, the verb in past participle, our complement, and a question mark. Today's usage is usage 3, and that is for things that have happened during your whole life, but not saying when. So, it's for things that could have happened ever since you were born until today. So you're going to say, I have done this, or I haven't done it. But you are not going to tell us any details. If you want to say any details, those details need past because it's something that has already finished. We're only going to say, what have you done in your whole life? For this, we're going to use these time markers. I've written some examples. Here it says, have you ever won a competition? Again, ever. Have you ever? That means, have you at least once in your life, in your complete life, won a competition? The answer is yes. I have won a competition once, twice, thrice, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, etc. So in this case, you can say, yes, I have, and that's it. Or maybe you can tell me how many times you have done that. In this case, win a competition. Once means una vez. Twice, dos veces. Thrice, tres veces. But nowadays, in modern English, people don't use thrice a lot. But it is also possible to say 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, etc. So again, once, twice, thrice, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, etc. to infinity and beyond. Another possibility is to say, no, I haven't. Again, what was the question? Have you ever won a competition? No, I haven't. Another way of saying that you haven't won a competition is using never. No, I have never won a competition. I put here have with red because we have to pay attention. Even in Spanish, we cannot say haven't with never because never is something that already says no. So we cannot say no, nunca. You say, nunca he ganado. I have never won. So pay attention. If you want to use a negative, you have to write haven't. But if you want to write about never, the auxiliary has to be in affirmative form because never means not even once. Let's check another example. Has she ever been to your house? Yes, she has been here many times, 10 times, twice. Again, we don't say exactly when and we don't tell any further information. Another option is she has never been here, or no, she hasn't. Now pay attention to the collocation here. Ever is right before the verb, okay? Before the verb. And never is the same before the verb. Can you see? So ever and never go before the verb. Ever, it's only for negative sentences, while never is for sentences with an affirmative auxiliary. Let's read some more about this. Present perfect with ever and never. Ever means at the time. We can use ever in questions and goes between the verb have and the past participle. The example sentences are: have you ever played basketball? That means, have you done that in all your life? Have you ever played basketball? Nobody has ever heard of this book. This is the first time I have ever eaten Italian pizza. Have you ever been to an opera? Here we can see how to write ever in affirmative sentences, or maybe here we have something like a negation because we have nobody. So pay attention. Ever goes before the verb. Nobody has ever. Ever means even once. And here, I have ever eaten. This is the first time I have ever eaten pizza. So this is the first time in my complete life that I have eaten an Italian pizza. Now let's check never. Never is a contraction of not ever. We can use never to make a negative statement and goes between the verb have and the past participle. The example sentences are: we should never have done that. He has never seen him. We have never traveled by train. We have never met with her until now. I have never been to Spain. Pay attention how these things are in affirmative form. Only in affirmative form. You cannot say hasn't or haven't never. No, you need has never, have never, and in this case, should never. We use the present perfect plus ever to ask questions about experiences in someone's life. That means in your complete life. Have you ever taken dance classes? Yes, I have. Now pay attention. When we want to give any detail about the activity, now we change to past. This is not present perfect, it's simple past. So, present perfect is only to say yes, I have done it, no, I have done it, I have never done it, or maybe I have done it once, twice, etc. But if you want to give any more details, now you have to change to past. I took 6 weeks of lessons before my wedding. Has your brother ever been to India? No, he hasn't. Okay? Now, let's pay attention to this. Ever means at any time and never not any time. For example, have you ever been to Brazil? Answer: I've. Remember, I've is a contraction of I have. I've never been to Brazil. The smell is worse than ever. You never helped me. So, never ever, it's a phrase. We can put them together. Never ever is used for emphasizing never very strongly. I will never ever leave her. It would be something like jamás, pero nunca jamás. Yes? Not ever is used instead of never, but never is much more common. For example, she hasn't ever been, but is more usual to say she has never been. Ever, another example. Have you ever ridden a motorbike? That is interrogative. You want to know if something has happened before the verb. Pay attention, we put it before the verb. And never, for example, I have never climbed the Mont Blanc. That has a negative meaning. Yes, but we need an affirmative auxiliary. You say that nothing hasn't happened, and also before the verb. How can we write that one but now with the word ever? You may say, oh, sorry, this one is too fat. Let me make it a little bit thinner. Yes, like this. You may say, I haven't ever climbed the Mont Blanc. So these are your two options to say that this thing has never happened. Have never or haven't ever. These are the two possibilities. And that leads us to the end. Now we have finished, finally, after many months, checking what present perfect is about. Remember, present perfect has 3 uses. One is for very recent events. That is with these time markers. The time markers for recent events are yet, already, and just. Very recent things. It is also used when we talk about periods of time with, for, and since. And the question, how long? And in today's lesson, we learned about things that have happened in your complete life. But we don't say when and we don't give any details. And that is ever. Well, let's use a different color, something that's a little bit more different. Okay, ever and never. Okay, so this is present perfect and its time markers. Last but not least, we have some exercises practicing all of these time markers in our PDF file. So please check it, solve it, and I'll see you in a few minutes. Bye!